Alright, so today is going to be the one-off video where I'm going to highlight something, just something random. So today's going to be just a complete warm-up. I was going to do the food, or not the food, the health tip one, but I think I'm going to do that as an Instagram story instead of making a whole video on that. So if you guys want to see health tips, just let me know in the comments and I'll post it on my Instagram. But it's going to be just a full warm-up of what I do before dunking, before working out. So I'm going to get started. Here we go. So instead of trying to talk over this warm-up in the gym, I decided to do commentary over this just so you guys can actually hear me talk through it. So there's a couple things I want to point out with the warm-up, and one of them is the pace, and the other is going to be talking about the types of exercises that I choose to do. So in terms of the exercises that I choose, here I usually start off with a couple different banded exercises. This one is working my upper body by spreading the band out, and then also working my outer hips by stepping out to the side. Now this is a 10 to 20 pound band. The next one you guys will see me put on, this purple one that I'm picking up right now, is about 30 pounds, so it's adds a little bit more tension. Now the reason I like to use bands during these warm-ups is because, as I just said, it adds tension to the movements, and when you take the bands off, you just feel more mobile and just lighter in the regions that you just worked. So here is another one that's working my outer hip glute region, and I like to do a lot of exercises in my warm-up that work like the outer hip and glute area, because I notice when I jump I work in a lot of internal rotation, just meaning that I'm working the muscles that are kind of on the inside part of my leg. So I like to do exercises that kind of balance that out and work the outer part of my leg. So I'll work different angles like you guys are seeing on the screen right now with this purple band, doing front to back and then also side to side like you guys saw at the beginning. I just have it wrapped around at about mid-calf, shin level. You guys can find these bands pretty cheap on Amazon if you're looking for them. I think the red one is about $10–15, and then you could buy this purple one in a set that actually has a heavier one than this and also a lighter one. So after doing those couple, I worked in these knee raises. Now this is working my hip flexor and like the top of my quad. I usually do about 10 of these, and then I do a hold at the end just to warm up that front of the hip area even more. And this is one that I really feel when I take the band off in the front of my hip. I just feel like my hips are lighter and I can lift my leg easier, or at least it feels that way. It feels more mobile after taking the band off from my feet. So I like to do pretty much what you guys did. So I'm going to point out the other thing I said at the beginning, and that is the pace of this warm-up. So what you guys are seeing on the screen right now is the exact pace that I go through my warm-up. So this is pretty much uncut. The only cut is coming up when I switch to the more dynamic aspect of it. But this is the pace I like to keep just to get my heart rate up, start to work up a sweat before doing any kind of workout or dunk jump routine. So after doing the banded stuff, I start off here with side shuffles. Now you'll notice I don't do any of the skip exercises until I feel a little bit more warmed up, and that's just to avoid just hurting myself or feeling like I'm going to injure myself by jumping a little bit too soon. So here I'm working in butt kicks, working my hamstrings and my legs a little bit more, and then after that I work in high knees, getting my arms into it, trying to pick my knees up as high as I can, which I could do a better job picking them up a little bit higher, being lazy. Pick your knees up higher, and I will do better at that. So here I'm working in the skips. So by this point I'm feeling a little bit more warmed up. My heart rate's up, and I'm just starting to work in the jump exercises. After the skips, do a little bit of back pedaling. So in terms of like the order that I choose to do stuff, it's more of when I remember to do it. But like I said, I'll usually save the jump stuff until I feel a little bit more warmed up. Now after the back pedal, I work in some more upper body. So just throwing my arms in the air, feel like you're flying, get loose. These get my whole body warmed up pretty good, and I like to work them in midway through just because by that point I'm feeling even more loose, and those just get me going even more. So after that, worked in karaoke. Focus on picking up your knee that's going internally. So in this one, it'll be my left knee. Just to focus on loosening up the internal rotation aspect of it and getting a good push when you're pushing your knee to the outside to continue moving to the side. Now after that, I work in this hamstring exercise. Just still trying to kick my leg up as high as I can, get a good stretch in. And as you guys will notice, I don't do much, if any, static stretching, and I've just never found that has helped me before dunking. I will do some, or I have done some static stretching after jumping, and I've read studies that doing static stretching before doing like a power exercise like jumping could actually hinder the amount of power output you have, and that could vary for people, but I do like to stick to the dynamic stuff just because it gets my heart rate up more and I just feel looser going through it. Now this is a more advanced plyometric skip. As you guys saw, I was doing a double tap on one leg and then switching immediately to the other, and that's pretty much it. So that pace you guys saw, pretty much the pace that I go through every time, and now I'm going to close out the video. So that's a complete walkthrough, run through of my warm-up. So as you can tell, I'm breathing a little bit heavier now. So I do it at this pace, just so like when I go on the court or when I start lifting, I feel warmed up pretty much throughout my whole body. So that's it for this one-off highlight video of something I do outside of just dunk progress or working out. But well, this is working out, but something just by itself. That's it for this video. Comment down below if you try this warm-up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.